Hey guys, so I'm recording on my Surface, or not my Surface. I wish I had a Surface. The computers that I have here, and it's just not what's up. So I'm struggling a little bit. But anyways, I'm not here. Baby wasn't feeling good. I want to make sure that I get you guys everything you need to get through day two, for the trig stuff. So for right triangle, hey KK. Um, Today we're going to focus on ratios. So ratios are the comparison of the two side lengths. So in the first part, you're going to use a calculator to find the ratio a given angle. So on the calculator, if you have one like this, we're looking at these buttons here: sine, cosine, and tangent. So for the first one, if you type in, oh, that's not cosine. I can't look at that way. Let me do this again. So sine of 32 degrees, um, and then you hit enter. You get 0.5299. So that means if you took um, the the ratio, that would be what you would get from dividing it out. So in this case, I like to go to 3 decimal places, but here we would have to round this to 0.53. Point, there we go, point, it's not letting me do this. Hang on, use my mouse. Point five. Yeah, these computers are not good for this type of stuff. And the cosine of 33 degrees, tangent of 75 degrees work the same way. So cosine of 33 degrees, make sure your calculator's in degree mode, and you'll get 0.38. I'd round that up to 0.839. Again, the reason why you don't want to round early is you never know how precise you need to be, and it might not seem like in a application where it actually matters. Rounding off that a little bit might mess you up. So the other one was the cotangent, the secant, the cosecant. Okay, let's see, baby. Hey, mama, say hi. Say hi. Um, you need to do the same function, but we got to remember that they're inverses. So if we're looking at the secant of 13.2 degrees, secant, we're going to do 1 divided by secant is the inverse of cosine, so of cosine. So it's going to be 1 divided by cosine of 13.2, and that's going to get you your ratio of 1.27. So that is the ratio for secant. So for cotangent, cosecant, make sure you put as 1 divided by the function that they're inverses of. All right, so that's the basics there. Back to my arrow. Okay, so for the next part, use a calculator to find the measure of each angle in degrees. So we found the ratio. Now we're going to find the angle. So to find the angle, you have to use the inverse button. So if you're looking at your calculator, you have to hit second first. You hit second and then sine or cosine or tangent. And that's going to give you the inverse of this. You find angles. So that's what I would write in this part. Well, what buttons functions? Use second sine, second cosine. Use the inverse function, the inverse sine, the inverse cosine, inverse tangent to find the angle measurement. So we'll type in 1.2. That's for tangent. For sine, we got 0.5995. 595. Oh, I cannot type today. Okay, so look like this. Hit enter. So the angle measure, the theta in this case, would be 36.834. 36.834 is what you would write for that. So A would be 36.844 degrees. Well, yeah, you have in Dutch math. 844 degrees. These are angle measures. Tangent works the same way. Now for secant, let me make sure I get this right. I left my notepad at school because I thought I was going to be there today. So secant is the inverse of cosine. So the way it's going to go is you're going to do 1 divided by second cosine 2 2.348. That's not it. So let me pause this real quick. Okay, I remember. So what we got to do, so let's use secant of k equals 2.48. So that's the ratio. What we're going to do is we're going to do second, secant is inverse of cosine, so second cosine, and then you're not going to put in 2.348, you put in 1 over 0.348, because you're trying to get the inverse. Yeah. And you get 64.73, I'd round that to. 64.793, and obviously sometimes they only ask for one, a tenth, hundredth. So I'm just going to try to keep you guys being precise as possible. That's at math practice 6. So that is how you find the angle measure when you're given a ratio. So that's 2 different things you can do with your calculator. All right, so we're back at it. We're on this next part. So for letter A, suppose theta is an acute angle of a right triangle. So draw a picture for all of these. You can put the theta here or there, whichever one you prefer. You're given one ratio. You need to find the other remaining trig functions. We are just talking up a storm. So sine is so, right? So katoa. Opposite over adjacent. So that would mean opposite is square root of 5. And the hypotenuse is 4. Now, I'm going to get stuck because I don't know the adjacent side. So you need a Pythagorean theorem this out. You're given the hypotenuse in one of the legs. So it's going to be, 4 squared, so 16, equals square root of 5 squared is 5, plus, let's just call it a squared. So then you solve, you get 11 equals a squared. We take square of that, and you're going to get a equals the square root of 11. Square root of 11. So, man, this drawing with this mouse pad is literally the least you're doing. Come help me out. Come help me out. Mira. Right there. You're right there. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. You want to go back down? It's okay. Go. All right. So we have our side lengths. We did Pythagorean theorem, and now we just need to figure out the rest of these. So this is what we did day 1. You just go with, so cosine of theta would be adjacent over hypotenuse, so square root of 11 over 4. Now, when you do something tangent, and you get opposite over adjacent to the TOA, and you get square root of 5 over the square root of 11, you got to remember to rationalize that. I'm going to change my color because I'm running into this big triangle. With a red. We have to get we have to rationalize it by multiplying by the square root of 11, because you don't have a rational number in the denominator. So multiply top and bottom, numerator, denominator by square root of 11, and it's painful, guys. It's so painful. But we're doing this to give us a number that's not so messy, like square root of 55 divided by 11, and there's nothing we can pull out of there, so it's just going to be our ratio. So for tangent of theta for this triangle, you're given that. Now, what we do here is find out the values in degrees. So let's do that by getting our calculator back out. All right, so once you get your ratio out, then you can go back to your calculator and plug them in. Now, if you're, depending on what kind of calculator you got, like I have this one, and it's not as powerful as like the TI's, the big one. You gotta kind of play with it to make this work. So the first one, the sine of theta equals square root of 5 over 4. I gotta plug that in my calculator. Now, if I just type in the square root of 5 divided by 4, it's gonna make it all one term, and that's not what I want. That's not what I want. So I have to go square root of 5 by hitting second square root, 5, and then I'm gonna hit enter. This one inverse is killing me. And then I have to go divided by 4. Now that gives me the ratio. Now to turn this into the angle, I need to go second sine. You gotta use the inverse function. Second sine. Now you can't just type that in. At least I'm not doing it right. But I'm gonna go second answer. The answer is above the negative sign right there. Second answer, and that's going to take that last answer you had, which is 5/4, and plug it in. Hit enter, and then you get your degree measure. So in this case, I'd have 33.988. We went off to 3 decimal places. 33.988 would be your degree. So you want to get, for all of these, find the ratio in fraction form, and then plug them in to your sine function or your inverse sine function. Remember, when you're doing this, to plug in as 1 over your ratio. So good luck with that. Same thing for letter B, and then I'll scroll down, so give me a second.